Hi everyone! Thank you for coming back to hear about 33 more tiny ways to improve your life. This is part 2 of a 3-part series where I'm sharing a total of 99 tiny ways you can improve your life. I hope that you found something helpful in the first one, and if you did, please leave me a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Like last time, these are in no particular order and they're on a variety of topics, and I'm going to go through them pretty quickly again to try to keep this video from being too long. So with that, let's get started with number 34. So 34 is to perform a random act of kindness. We've talked about this before. I'm sure you know what they are. I'm sure that you have some go-tos that you do. Hold the door for someone, buy someone's coffee. Anything that's going to make you feel good that also helps someone else. 35 is to stop comparing yourself to others. Just stop it. You are exactly where you're supposed to be at the exact moment that you're supposed to be there, and you cannot compare where you're at to where anyone else is in their life. And I say that with a lot of love and compassion. 36 is in line with one in part 1, but it's to set your alarm clock to get up earlier. Even if it's just 1 minute earlier, the next day set it for another minute earlier, and the next day another minute earlier. When you get to the end of the work week, you'll be getting up 5 minutes earlier, which is 5 minutes that you can use to meditate or to read or just to do anything that is going to benefit you and help to start your day off on the right foot. 37 is to declutter. And this is just get rid of anything that you're not using. And there are so many good charitable organizations now that you can donate to that need the things that you're not using. And there are shelters that help veterans and women and even children who need help getting started. So just pick up what you're no longer using and put it in a box to donate. 38 is to find one unnecessary thing that you pay for and cancel it. This can be a subscription box, it can be cable like I talked about last time, higher internet speeds. If you have like those like theft protection on a credit card that you've been paying $3.99 a month for years, just cancel that. It's going to save you money and it's less mental clutter too. 39 is to make a list of the things that you used to wish for that you now have. And this can be like when I was in college, I couldn't wait to graduate because I wouldn't have to do homework on the weekends anymore. So that's true. I no longer have to do homework on the weekends. I used to wish that I had, a car and a house of my own, and now I have that. It can be the simplest things, and it can be something even bigger. Maybe it was just 5 years ago that you were wishing that you were no longer living with your parents, or that you paid off your house or your debt or something. Just make a list of things that you used to wish for that you now have, because we are all constantly in this mindset of wishing for things that we don't have because we're comparing ourselves to others a lot of the time. So this is a really good way to help to put in perspective how hard you've worked and how far you've come. 40 is to start one of those jars that you deposit money into every time you do something that's a bad habit. So like a swear jar, or if you smoke, or if you do anything, if maybe you're trying to stop eating sugar, every time you eat sugar, put $1 in there. You're gonna have something fun to do after a week or two. 41 is to do something creative. As adults, we don't spend enough time being creative and using that side of our brain that we need to generate that creativity. And I am definitely one of those people who says I'm not creative. I'm a very practical person. I plan everything out. I'm pragmatic. I am like a type A- because I can be pretty laid back about stuff. But even if you try to write a poem that turns out to be the worst poem in the world, do something that speaks to you that's creative. It could be, adult coloring books. I think maybe those are still a trend. Painting, just do anything that's creative to you. It could even be doing a puzzle like I mentioned in my last video, or maybe you'll do some creative writing, or even putting makeup on is something creative. So find creativity in your everyday life that helps to exercise that creative side of your brain. 42 is to intentionally find something good in someone you don't like. I don't think that needs a lot of explanation. 43 is to cook a full meal from appetizers to dessert to drinks. It's a lot of fun. Do it with friends. Do it for yourself if you want. Nobody's judging. But it's a lot of fun to create that entire meal that you would usually pay for at a restaurant and do it yourself. 44 is to set time on your calendar for things that you enjoy. If maybe you have watched these videos and you want to spend more time being creative, or you want to set aside time to read, schedule it on your calendar. Even if it starts with just 15 minutes, make sure that you have it set aside and scheduled so that you know you're going to do it. For number 45, now that you have been investing and you are no longer paying for cable and you found something that you're paying for that you shouldn't be, I encourage you to find a way to hire out something that you don't like to do. It can be anything from grocery shopping to having someone clean your house, have someone cut your grass, have someone pull your weeds. You can hire someone to do anything these days. And the thing about it is that these people are doing these jobs because they also need the money. So now that you have found these other ways to save money, and even ways that I haven't suggested, I do encourage you to indulge in having someone do a task that you don't enjoy, because I really believe that our time should be spent as much as possible focusing on the things that are fulfilling for us. And these small things that we don't enjoy that you can have someone else help you out with is just going to help cultivate that life that you're looking for. 46 is to start a gratitude journal. I did mention in my last video to practice gratitude. This is specifically to start a journal where you write down a number of things that you're grateful for each day. I may have mentioned the 5-minute journal in the past. It's both a hard copy journal and an app on your phone. You can start with something like that, but this is, again, not only practicing gratitude, but writing it down, which helps to solidify that mindset that I mentioned before. 47 is to learn to say no. I've talked about this in videos in the past. I really believe that you need to start saying no to things that do not serve you. Say no anytime that you can when it's something that you're not going to enjoy, that's not going to contribute to you living a happy, meaningful life. 48 is to stop using busy as a status. This is something that has become crystal clear to me in the last couple of years, that being busy is not something to be proud of. Everybody is busy. Even the person who goes home after work every day and watches TV, that is their version of busy. The people who have children that they're running around with, they're busy. The people who are spending their time on philanthropic efforts, they're busy too. Everybody is busy. Stop using it as a status and focus on the things that you enjoy. 49 is to delete the apps on your phone that you don't use. We all have apps that we've forgotten about, that we no longer use, that are taking up space on our phone, and that is like this physical and mental clutter that we need to work on clearing out. 50 is to intentionally cut down screen time. Like I mentioned in my first video, intentionally unplug for a while. This is to really not just unplug once to try it to see how it goes. This is to cut down the amount of time you spend, the amount of your life that you spend on social media or reading email or reading the news on your phone. 51 is to start a new ritual. This could be cooking a meal on Sunday. It could be going for a walk after dinner. Anything that you have wanted to do. Maybe your ritual is going to be to read in bed instead of scrolling through social media. Making these tiny changes to our behaviors are things that really help to improve our life. 52 is to learn a new word and start using it. I have mentioned that my husband and I enjoy watching football, and on a weekly show that we watched during this season, someone used the word loquacious, which is someone who talks a lot, essentially. So I have added that word to my vocabulary and used it as appropriate. And I generally mean it in a joking way when I refer to someone as loquacious. But we all hear those words every once in a while that it's just like, oh, that's a good word. I should use that word more. Write it down and start using it. 53 is to set up automatic transfers to savings and investment funds. So the days that you get paid, have automatic transfers so you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to make a decision or start going through that thought process. Oh, well, instead of saving it, I could buy this. Just set up automatic transfers so your money is automatically being saved and invested where you want it to be. And similar, number 54 is to set up automatic bill pay. Again, anything that we can automate in our life that reduces the number of decisions that we make, the number of things that we have to remember, it's going to help you and improve your life. 55 is to never sit for more than an hour at a time. Of course, when we're sleeping or if you're at a movie, there's of course times like that, but I'm talking about when you're watching TV, Even when you're reading, when you're at work, never sit for more than an hour at a time. Set a timer on your phone if you need to, but make sure that you're getting up and walking around every once in a while. 56 is to see if you can give up one of your vices, even if it's just for a day. If you eat a lot of sugar or drink a lot of caffeine like I do, see if you can give it up for a day. I actually gave up eating sugar and drinking caffeine for a month one time last year. And it's something that I intend to do again. But it was also just like, hey, look, I can do it. If I can do it for a month, I can do it for a longer period of time. If you smoke, see if you can stop smoking for a day. See if you can do anything, if you can intentionally stop doing something that you no longer want to do for a period of time. This could even be if you want to stop complaining, if you want to stop having negative thoughts, see if you can just do it for an hour and see how it goes. 57 is to go on a date with yourself. Whether you're single, married, have kids, anything, go on a date with yourself and spend time with yourself. And I mean intentionally. Leave your house and go do something. I like to eat by myself. I enjoy doing things by myself, so this is very easy for me. But the reason that I enjoy it is because I enjoy spending time with myself. So try it and see how it goes. 58 is to compliment someone. And this is my favorite thing to do, especially if I am out in public, if I'm out shopping, if I'm at a restaurant, something like that, and someone is especially crabby. It could be another customer or someone who is helping me. I will compliment them because 99% of the time is going to put them in a better mood. And just think about the last time someone randomly complimented you. It always helps to improve your mood. 59 is to start recycling or composting. And this seems a little bit random, but the more that I learn about recycling and helping our environment, the more I feel like I'm contributing to a greater good. So I really recommend everyone try it. And even if it's just that right now you throw away your water bottles, just put them in a bag to recycle them and see how that goes. Any little thing that you can do generally tends to help to improve your life. 60 is to kill them with kindness. And this is a lot like complimenting someone. But when you're in a situation where you need to be around someone that you prefer not to be around, and it's generally not your choice when you're around them, I really encourage you, especially if your go-to is to be passive aggressive or even just to shut down, try being extra nice and just see how it goes. Sometimes it just freaks them out enough that it throws them off their game, and that will work out to your advantage too. 61 is to see if you can go an hour without using electronics before you go to bed. So this means the last hour before you go to bed, talk to the people that you live with, read a book, do a puzzle, read a magazine, do anything that doesn't involve electronics, and just see how it goes. Maybe it will help you sleep better, maybe it won't. Maybe it will help you to shut off your mind, which is always good for any of us, and maybe it won't, but try it and see how it goes. And if you can't do an hour, shoot for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever makes sense for you, and then build up to an hour and see how it goes. 62 is to carve out time for personal development every week. So you could take a course online through Udemy or Coursera, or it could be reading a book or reading professional journals, but anything that you need to do to help develop yourself personally, schedule time to do that every week. 63 is to walk barefoot outside. There is something so grounding about being outside, specifically in the grass without shoes on, especially when it's a warm summer day. Who doesn't enjoy that? But do it with intention and just enjoy the feeling. This is a time that you could also use to meditate. Just see how it feels when you're outside in the grass without shoes on. If nothing else, it's going to tell you whether or not you like it. 64 is to focus on sitting up straight. Sometimes it looks a little strange when people are sitting up straight, but try it and see how it goes. 65 is to laugh. So make someone else laugh at yourself, laugh at what other people are saying. But as they say, laughter is the best medicine, and it really does improve your life. And 66 is to practice mindfulness in unexpected ways. So what I mean by this is be intentional during your everyday mundane tasks. So when you're brushing your teeth, be intentional about making sure you're brushing the front and back of every tooth. Or when you're answering the phone, be intentional about the movement that you're making to answer your phone and what you're saying when you greet the person who's calling you. Anytime that we take a moment to appreciate what we're actually doing, it's actually a form of not only gratitude and meditation, but a form of being sure that we're intentional about what we're doing. So I hope that you enjoyed this second round of 99 tiny ways to improve your life. Again, this was 34 to 66, and I will be posting the final 33 next week. If you got something out of this, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you again next week.